when this crypto thing came to light, it became something that I felt like would be the solution for Africa. Because lately my main objective and initiative is trying to figure out ways to infrastructurally build Africa. Because it just doesn't make sense how Africa has all these resources, this huge population, all this history, and we still 10, 20 years behind as far as development.
Hi, I'm Samara Lynn, Digital Manager of Black Enterprise, and I have the pleasure here of being with Akon, who is a music superstar, recording artist, and entrepreneur and innovator. You were quoted as saying blockchain and crypto could be the savior for Africa. Can you, that's really interesting and pretty powerful. Can you expand on that statement?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think Africa's development is going to be dependent on complete transparency. I think the cause of Africa's underdeveloped continent is because of corruption.
What would be some real world applications to better the governments, with Akoin and the Akoin platform?
I think, banking systems can definitely benefit from it. The voting system will probably be the #1 system that's actually generated from it. The entrepreneurship programs and dApps that we're adding to the program will definitely, help to stimulate the youth and give them opportunities and more, anything, the belief and the tools to be able to build a future for Africa for sure.
That's interesting. I want to go back to the voting, because I think you had mentioned in a past interview that you saw a lot of good use with blockchain for voter technology. Do you think that can help end corruption and Russian collusion, any country interference?
Absolutely, because the good thing about blockchain, it leaves a footprint. So it's like you can't do anything without it being open to everyone to see it. So it clearly opens the road to transparency.
Well, of course there are so many emerging cryptocurrencies out there. We have Ripple, Bitcoin, Ethereum. What differentiates Akoin?
Well, Akoin is not none of the programs that you just mentioned. Those guys are the guys that actually create the softwares and the functionality to what even Akoin will be using. Because even Akoin has to use one of those platforms to be operational.
Right.
So they're like the mothership board, basically, in so many words. If you was to just imagine them being the internet, and us being the app.
Right.
But in our case, we want to be the app store.
So you said there was a soft launch, and you said there will be tokens issued. Can anyone invest?
Oh yeah. I mean, once they're up for sale, anyone can invest.
And how? How would someone say, oh, you know what? I want some Akoins.
Well, you can go on any platform where you can buy any token today, and we'll be available. Okay. So we'll be available on every token.
Let's pivot a little bit. It was written in an interview that I read. Funded by a $1 billion credit line, Akon Lighting Africa has gone on to install 100,000 solar street lamps in over 400 rural communities across 15 different African countries. So is that a continuing project? Where are we at with Akon Lighting Africa these days?
Oh yeah, that's definitely continuing. I mean, it's going to be ongoing for eternity. As long as energy will be needed, we'll be finding ways and new solutions to be able to provide energy to the people.
So you've also talked about creating the actual Wakonda, this futuristic city. So just in general, what would this futuristic city look like? Like what type of government would it have? And this is like outside of Dakar, which is the...
Well, it's actually in the center of, it's outside Dakar, but it's in the Senegal, near the new airport. The whole idea really with the city is to create a renewable city, Crypto's money spent in the city, all digital, all renewable energy, is fueled by all renewable energy, no gas, no nothing, and clearly create platforms of all of today's newest technologies embedded within the city itself.
You had mentioned possibly about a presidential run in 2020. Is that still something that you're contemplating?
I thought about it heavily.
Really?
A lot, yeah.
Why would you want to be president?
As minorities, it's a lot of things that needs to happen that I don't think a lot of people have the heart to do. They get into politics, they get into certain windows, certain venues, and they may feel a certain way in private, but then when they get into the public, the fear kicks in. Like, what if this happens? What if they do this? What if they boycott me? What if they blackball me? So you think about all the things that could happen to you if you take on that stand. You know what I'm saying? And I always looked at how a lot of our leaders and what they had to face to even get us to where we are today. Like they face like physical impact and physical punishment,
Right.
just to make us live in a better place. So when I got over the fact and over that fear, I was willing to do whatever it takes to put us in a better position. I think the only way to do it is to put someone in the office that cares about everybody, not just white people or black people or whoever the case may be.
That's great. Well, I think with that wonderful quote, we can leave off with that. Thank you, Akon.
Absolutely.